Hey, hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, friends. Right, welcome back to our day 13 on Power BI sessions. So, we have successfully completed 12 days, and we are in the data visualizations topic. So, almost 50 percentage of these sessions will be on data visualizations, friends. Right? So we'll quickly understand what we have understood so far with respect to data visualization. Then we'll start the class. Ready? Right. So we started with the topic data visualization, and it's nothing but where we use Power View. Power View component will be used. So whatever the data that we have, the structured data, we'll represent this data in pictures, in graphs, in visuals. That is nothing but data visualization. So where do we have all these visuals is under the visualization pane, right? So under the visualization pane, we'll have all the list of visuals that Power BI actually provides. So if you observe on day one of visualizations of this topic, we understood table visual. What is the main purpose of visualizing the data using table visual is when we used or when we represent the data using table visual, you know, it seems to be have in a detailed manner. We can have the data in a detailed fashion. Let me, yep. We can have the data in a detailed fashion. So we understood the formatting options of table visual where we represent the data in the form of rows and columns. And we also have a similar kind of visual called as matrix visual. Okay, this was probably understood in the last class, right? So where we represent the data same in the same fashion, rows and columns, but you know, matrix visual is something close to pivot tables. So it provides us the drill on options, either on rows or columns. But these drill on options you cannot expect for table chart, right? So all the different options that we have with respect to the drilling, we have understood with respect to matrix chart and the formatting options as well. Okay, how can we format the chart, the entire chart? Then how can we format the values, the headers, the totals, subtotals, only specific values present in one column, if not only the cell elements. So all the formatting options we have discussed, and majority of these formatting options are same as table chart. So in comparison, what we can comment is the formatting options between table chart and matrix chart are almost same, right? Then we also discussed Power BI Q&A component, that is Q&A visual. Okay, so when you ask a question to the chart, to this Power BI Q&A chart, okay, it answers with respect to a visual. So the output will be a visual, a graph. And is it a card visual every time? No, friends. Right? So depending on the output, it fetches the right visual. Okay. Since I have went for a measure, okay, it gave me a card visual. If not, we have also changed the question and it gave us the output using a different chart. All of these things we have understood yesterday, right? Yes. So no issues. And moreover, I have also requested everyone to do hands-on, because if you don't work on the hands-on part, you can't memorize these things for a long time. Yes. So table chart, matrix chart, and we also understood card visual, card new visual, because both of them are used to display the measures, the single values, and there are only a slight differences between card and card new. And in DAX, we also understood what is a slicer. So slicer actually helps us to, to filter the records. Even if you observe carefully, the charts within a page, within a report, are interacting or not. See, they are interacting. The moment I have clicked on, one of the product under table chart, it is interacting with the rest of the charts present in the same page. Within the page, we may have two visuals, or we may have two tiles or 10 tiles, whatever it might be, you know, if they are related to each other. I mean, if the tables, okay, the queries that are used to build these charts, if they are related to each other, for sure these charts will interact. They will interact. Okay, I'll uncheck, I'll get back the original data, original matrix chart, and the sum of total amount for all the products. Right. So I can achieve the same thing using slicer also, friends, because slicer helps us to filter the data. Okay. Once after loading all the products into the slicer, I click on the slicer and on the required product, and it actually helps us in filtering. Anyways, so we have understood the basic charts under the visualizations pane. Today we'll make it, you know, we'll make our discussion one step forward, and we'll talk about all the six charts present in row one: bar chart, column chart, clustered bar, clustered column, stacked, 100% stacked bar, 100% stacked column. For this, I'm going with one more page. So it's nothing but one more report. So page is a report in which we may have a single tile or multiple tiles. Okay, I'll name it as bar, sorry, bar and column charts. Bar and column charts. Right. So first of all, what is the purpose of, or when we generally use bar and column charts? Okay. So all of these, first of all, let me talk about this stacked bar. Okay. So stacked bar, stacked column. So it means, what is the difference that you observe with respect to the icon, friends? It is same. Stacked bar is same as stacked column, but only the alignment is different. I see the bars aligned in horizontal direction in stacked bar, and in column chart, stacked column, the bars are vertical. So is that the only difference? Yes, it's the only difference between bar and column charts. Bar and column charts. So column, in general, within a table, columns are nothing but the vertical one, right? So if the bar is aligned vertically, it is a column chart. And if the bar is aligned horizontally, it's a bar chart. Okay. So we understood the difference between bar and column chart. Let us understand what is a stacked bar, clustered bar, 100% stacked bar, one by one. First, we'll talk about stacked bar chart. When we generally use stacked bar chart is when you want to compare your products. Okay, So for example, when you want to generally represent, say it as proportions. Okay, so you have 10 employees and you want to check their performance. So what do? You compare with one or the other. Yes. So one employee will be compared with the next employee. The same till the 10th employee. In the same way, I can represent all my products. Assume this is the data that we have. So taking this data, I can check what I can compare my products. Yes. Either you use bar chart or column chart, only the alignment will change. Apart from it, you know, nothing else, friends. I mean, even the formatting options will also be seen. For that, let I'm loading stacked bar chart, the first chart under the visualizations pane. Okay, I'll make it big. So this is stacked bar chart, and you see what are the options that we got? Oh, many options. We got many options. What are the different options that you see here? Since it is a bar chart, we have y-axis, x-axis, legend, small multiples, tooltips. But in the previous case, if I go and take matrix chart or table chart, I don't have those many options, right? Yes, these options that you see next to the visuals, they are completely dependent on the type of visual that we use. The options, they are completely dependent on the type of visual that we use. But since we are going to use, or since we are going to discuss only bar and column charts in today's class, all of these options will be same across all these charts. Okay, we'll talk about what is this y-axis, what is x-axis, what is legend, what is small tips, what is tool tips. Okay, we'll talk about all these options, friends, but one by one. Okay, so I'm taking the data. So initially you have to go and give a column. You have to bring a field for your y-axis. What field would you like to have on your y-axis? So I'll just probably take product names. There are products, right, in our organization that we manufacture or that we sell. Okay, so the product's name I would like to have on y-axis. The moment after loading it, you see the field got added to y-axis column, y-axis option, and in the page you will find product name. Okay, on the y-axis, friends. Then next to y-axis, what can we have on x-axis? So probably I want to compare the products. Yes, but with respect to what? With respect to quantity, would you like to compare, or with respect to total amount that you actually got, that we got from each and every product? So if you would like to take total amount to x-axis, click on it. See, that's it. I'm making bit, large in order to understand well, friends. Nothing else apart from. Okay, so what I have done is I'll be very slow because if you understand one and this one, I mean clustered bar chart and stacked bar chart, you'll feel the same. Rest of the all different charts will be same as is. Okay, so I'll be very slow with respect to these charts. Rest of them I'll make it fast. Okay, right. So don't get feel bored. Concentrate, friends. For y-axis, I took product names, and for x-axis I have took I took total amount. So I compare the products? Yes, I can compare. How? I see majority. Uh, I have got more amount from LED dusk lamp product, and with respect to electric kettle, the least amount. So in this way, I can compare. But what it is representing, it is a stacked bar. Is it a stacked bar? No, it's not a stacked bar. It is just a bar chart, because the data that you see here is represented in bars, only bars. Stacked bar means you see here one upon the other, then one upon the other. So when it is stacking, piling up one over the other, it is represented as stacked bar chart. But do you find any stacked bar chart here? No, it's just a bar chart. Then how can we make it stacked bar chart? Is you see legend option next to x-axis? Yes. So let me bring probably location. Under each and every location. Okay, see, for legend it took location. Under each and every location, what is the amount that we get from each and every product can be compared. I can compare all my products with respect to each and every location. So what are we doing? We are comparing the products by representing the data in bars. And how are these bars arranged? How are they aligned? They are aligned horizontally. Okay, so since they are aligned horizontally, and moreover all these bars are piled up, stacked up, it is a stacked bar chart. It is stacked bar chart. Simple. And can I add one more field under legend? No. Why? Do you find any white space? No. So when you don't find any white space next to that option, in that specific option, it means, you know, on max we can just add only one field under that option. But if you see x-axis occupied, y-axis, yes, it is not occupied. Still you can add something else. You can add one more column, friends. So what else can I add? Probably category. Uh, Category, let me bring it to y-axis and I'll show it to you. See. So you see the green color line, friends, when you are changing, it is actually fixing this position. So under each and every category, I have different products and the same four options that we have discussed yesterday, the drill on options. You can drill to the next level in the hierarchy with the parent level, without the parent level, then focusing on one single point, and this is for drill now. The same options. Okay, so what are we comparing? We are comparing the amount with respect to categories. If not, if you would like to only compare the products, go to the next level. Would you also like to have the parent? So the parent is here, then the child. I hope it's clear. So depending on the number of options that we can add, we can keep on adding those many number of fields. If not, you cannot add. See, under x-axis, it says it is occupied. It takes only one field. Right, now it's clear. I'll just remove category for better understanding. Now, let me also talk about small multiples. What are these small multiples? Small multiples is an option which actually splits your visual or splits your chart into multiples. Akhil, probably, when you do it, I can understand more. Sure. See, uh, what can we bring? Customer, price, supplier. Ah. So let me do one thing. I'll bring category to small multiples. See what happens. What happened? I know that there are four categories. Okay. So even my graph, even my chart has been divided into four plots. I mean, four different categories. One for clothing, one for electronics, one for grocery, one for furniture. So the field that you bring into the small multiples, it makes sure to split your chart into those many number of multiples. See, I'll try to make it big, then probably you'll understand. You see, so the data that we are representing in different multiples. This is for only clothing. Under clothing, I don't see. For rest of the products. So probably this is not the right way. We are not supposed to bring small multiples under the category. If you have any kind of region, that would make sense. uh, Location we have added there, right? Okay, there is no other option called region anyways. For different regions, we can also bring it under the small multiples so that it gets added, friends. That this particular chart will be broken into those many number of multiples, right? Then next to small multiples we have tooltips. So what is exactly this tooltips is, when I hover my mouse on any one of the bar, is it giving me any kind of pop-up? Yes, it is talking about the complete bar: product name, location, then total amount. So this blue color bar is representing LED desk lamp, okay, where the location is Chicago. So blue color. Legend. Because of the legend, I see the colors. Then what is the amount that we get? 1040. Right. But if I want some additional information, regarding the same bar. What should I do? Can I add anything else to x-axis? No, not possible. I also want the information about the quantity. What is the quantity of this LED desk lamp got sold so far? Then how can I do it? You add that, or we have to bring that column, the field under tooltips. So when you do, or when you add that particular option, field under the tooltips, when you hover your mouse, it gives you an additional information regarding the quantity as well. The field that we have added under tooltips. See, quantity 9. It's not only for one product, friends. You go and look after any product at any location, you'll find the same. I mean, you'll find the pop. Okay, so in this way, these five options help us to give the values. What value would you like to have on y-axis? Then what value would you like to have on x-axis? The legend will actually decide your, breakup. So across different locations, I'm interested to have look at the sales, the total amount that we got with respect to each and every product, and we were able to do it. And finally, additional information is the quantity. If I want to get the information about quantity as well, there is no other option, only just bring the quantity column added to tooltips. Right? So this is a cluster, I mean, this is a stacked chart. Okay, we'll quickly understand the formatting options as well. So for y-axis, so for these options, friends, y-axis. Okay, so values, they are on by default. Would you like to have these or not? If you don't want to have them, keep it off. But If you make it off, it doesn't make sense. How can I interpret? Right? So make it on. Then you can change the font style, you can increase the size, make it bold, underlined, change the color. You can give the maximum depth as well. Okay, you can also switch axis position. Okay, towards the right side or left side is up to you. You can also concatenate the labels. Since we don't have that much big tables, I mean labels, it's not making any sense, but we can concatenate the labels, right? In the sense when you try to look after the parent level and the child level, it gets concatenated. Then title, would you like to have the title or not? Yes, we should have. If you don't have, what do you have it on y-axis? How do we know that? So we should have y-axis. I mean the title, layout. So minimum category height, at what height you would like to have and all. You can also change the layout friends. So all the formatting options for y-axis we have understood. In the same way, we also have the formatting options for x-axis. Okay, the range. So it is going with auto from 0 till probably 3000. If not, you can set this. Okay, using conditional formatting, you can set these values, and for these values, you can do some kind of formatting options, changing the font styles, okay, size and all. Then the title as well. Okay, all these are part of x-axis formatting options. Then next to x-axis formatting options, we have legend formatting options. The legend, whatever the column that we have bought under this legend, it identifies the unique values, and for each and every unique value, it takes a unique color for better understanding. Okay, for distinguishing these products, these locations, it gave us four different colors. Okay, so if you don't want to have the legend, you can make it off. But if you don't have this legend in your chart, it doesn't make any sense. So we have to make it on. So by just looking at this, I can understand. Okay, blue one is Chicago. Then next to blue, it's I mean, kind of light blue, dark blue. I'm not sure about the colors. Okay, just ignore. It's Houston. Then orange is New York. Purple is San Francisco. Okay, so in this way we have the formatting options for legend. Then where would you like to have the legend? At top left or top center, top right, towards top left stacked. So would you like to have it at top left stacked position? See, one over the other. Okay, if not, top right stacked towards the right side, center left towards the center left side. In this way, we have multiple options, friends. Okay, where would you like to have this legend? It's up to you. Then, for changing the text, you have the formatting options and the title. That is nothing but the location. Okay, I'll click on reset to default. Then, next to legend, we also have formatting options for small multiples. But if you see, it is disabled. Why? The reason it being disabled is I did not take any column for small multiples. If I have added any one field under small multiples, for sure I can have formatting options enabled for this option as well. Then grid lines. Would you like to have grid lines like you see vertical grid lines, but properly you are unable to see, right? Let me change the color. Yep. Now you are able to see them. Yes. Would you like to have it as dashed or dotted, or you can also customize friends? So in this way, you can make your you know solid line. So you can change the grid lines. If you don't want, you make it off. Okay. So this is with respect to grid lines. Then zoom sliders. Would you like to have any zoom slider to the graph? What is the zoom slider? Is You see this? For example, if this is what you are looking for, okay, your target says, does every product is actually, from each and every product, are we achieving $1,500 of amount from each and every product? So you'll see, okay, so probably the top 6 or 7 products have achieved, but down to it, no. So you can adjust with the zoom slider, friends. See, the slider can be added and you can adjust it. For this slider again, you can, you know, you can have the formatting options. Then next to zoom slider, we have bars, the bars. Okay, would you like to apply for all? Yes. Okay, so these bars, you can change the color. So let me change for Chicago, uh, probably pink. If you're not satisfied the color and all, you can change. See, transparency, I'll make it 50 up. So one thing that you have to observe is you should make your particular title, particular visual attractive. Okay, so you should find the right color palette. By doing some kind of research, you'll get the right color palette. So you adjust the transparency and all. You can also add the border. See, for each and every tile, I mean for each and every bar, especially this one, okay, you'll see the border. Okay, so why it is affecting only Chicago? Because I have selected Chicago. If not, you can change other settings as well. Okay, you can also do it for other locations. Then these are important. Ribbons, if you make it on, you will see a ribbon. What happens is wherever that particular location is identified, you just make a ribbon with the next bar. See, you see a ribbon. So this is nothing but the ribbon chart that we have here. So this is the ribbon chart. We can also achieve a ribbon chart using these stacked bar and stacked column charts. Okay, so if you don't want to have that ribbons, you can make it off. Okay, the data gets, the bar based on its location, it's forming a ribbon. Then next to ribbon, we have data labels. What are these data labels? See, until unless if I go and hover my mouse, I can't get the information of these, locations. What is the total amount that we have got from each and every location for each and every product? But when you go and turn on these data labels, you will find the value for the total amount from each and every location for each and every product. So we have the formatting options for these data labels. Would you like to apply for all? Yes. Then where would you like to keep this position? Inside end or inside center? So it's up to you. Inside base. So up to you. I'll keep it as auto. Then you can also overflow the text. Okay, you can make it on. I'm not using it. Then title. Would you like to also have title? So it gets identified for each and every stacked bar chart. Okay. Then would you like to only have the value? You'll have only the value. Then detail. So it also identifies the detail. You should add it. Okay, the details can be added. Then background, if you want to highlight these values with some background, make sure you also on make it on. You see, the values have a background added. It's nothing but the data labels have a background. So let me reduce the transparency. Probably you can yes, now it's clear. So what I'm doing is I'm making my chart. I'm playing with the formatting options. Okay, once if you are familiar with these options, you need not worry. Then next to data labels, we have total labels. What does this total label does is, for this entire product, what is the total amount? Will be total labels, nothing. See, when I have made it on, you'll see all the total labels for each and every product and the same formatting option, friends. Probably value decimals. Yep, clear. So in this way, we can format a stacked bar chart because we are done with all the formatting options. All the formatting options are done. The same stacked bar chart, I'll convert to stacked column chart. What makes the difference? You have to tell me. But before that, okay, let me keep that ribbon. I'll just see. I have selected this chart, that is stacked bar chart, and I'm clicking on stacked column chart. That's it. Done. See, this is tagged column. What makes the difference, friends? What do you identify the difference? Might be the alignment. Yes, only the alignment. Horizontal bars got converted to vertical bars. Even if you go and look after the, you see this, the formatting options, the same formatting options. So x-axis, for x-axis it took products, for y-axis it will take the amount. Then for legend the same location, and for tooltip I went with the total quantity as well. So nothing else, right? The same stacked bar I have converted to stacked column using the same formatting options. And is it possible to convert the same stacked column chart to clustered bar chart? Yes, it is. It is possible. But before we go and convert it as clustered bar chart, let us talk about clustered bar chart. It is also a bar chart. Let me zoom in. It is also a bar chart, but instead of the bars getting stacked, the bars, I mean, here under clustered bar chart, the bars get clustered, means grouped. Oh, isn't it? Yes. But what do I understand from it? We have more products, right? So I'll do one thing. Now you'll understand. Yep. Now, yes. What did we do? I took the same categories on y-axis and total amount on x-axis. But are the bars getting stacked one over the other? No. The bars are getting clustered depending on the legend that we pass. What is the legend that we have passed? Location. So depending on the legend that we pass, it makes clusters for each and every bar. Under furniture category, there are four locations. I mean, under four locations, these furniture category products are sold out. Okay, so out of four, I mean, at these four locations, in which location is furniture is actually giving more amount. This one, New York, yes, I can compare with respect to the location as well. The bars are not getting stacked one over the other, friends. The bars are clustered. They are made as group. But why were we not able to understand in the previous case is we have more products. When you have more products, then probably clustered bar chart doesn't make sense. Go with stacked bar chart. I hope it's clear. The same clustered bar chart I convert as clustered column chart. See, I just created one, and to this one specific, stacked bar chart, we understood all the options, and these options are same across stacked column, clustered bar, clustered column. Even let me show you the formatting options. See, do you find anything new? Nothing. Nothing, right? Yes. So under each and every category, what is the total amount? What is the amount that we have got so far with respect to each and every location? So what I can say that out of all the locations and under all the categories, you know, in New York, okay, especially for furniture category, we have got more amount. Even the quantity is also very high. The quantity is also very high, right? So we'll focus more on this so that still our revenue gets increased. Yes, you can take such wonderful decisions upon just visualizing these beautiful charts. You know, our clients take beautiful decisions. Then the same furniture, at the same location, New York, but groceries probably they are not consuming at our store. They are not ready to purchase. Why? Are they consuming anything else? Let us go and check. Let us go and check. It doesn't mean let us go and check their home, right? So why are not they consuming? Are we not providing the right groceries? Okay, so what's the reason? We'll identify, friends. Everything will be identified, and the right decision will be taken. Then next to clustered bar chart, clustered column chart, we have 100% stacked bar chart. What is this 100% stacked bar chart? If you understand stacked bar chart, you will also understand 100% stacked bar chart. The only difference that you'll observe between stacked bar chart and 100% stacked bar chart is each and every bar present in 100% stacked bar chart will be of same length, same size. Okay, so for each and every, I'll convert this chart into 100% stacked bar chart. See, every bar will be of same length, that is 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. Okay, so for furniture category,